Cooking with Olaf Summer style. Today we are going to make ice cream cones for our dogs and healthy filling. And I cannot take credit for the ice cream cone idea. I did see someone else do this to make the cones. We're going to use the bottom of a muffin tin, but I came up with my own recipe. I used my own dough. I think that our ingredients should be really, really healthy. So, that being said, I also think things should be easy. So we're going to use a food processor, which is my best friend, I do believe. And we're not going to even have to wash it in between. How about that? All right. So, what I have here is some organic blueberries. I'm going to stick those in the food processor. And I have some bananas that are past where I want to eat them, but they're not bad. We're going to take one and we're going to stick it in the bowl for our dough. And then we are going to take the other and we are going to put it in the food processor. Now the key here to make this doggy ice cream is to keep the blueberries frozen. Can you refreeze it after? Oh yes, you can do that after, but why not make it easy? That's just how I think on things. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of flaxseed meal, just because I think it's good for them and they like the way it tastes. And then I'm going to add raw goat's milk. Now you could add whole, no flavor yogurt. Personally, I think raw goat's milk is one of the most wonderful immune boosters, probiotic, awesome stuff for our dog's belly, so why not use that? It is available at Must Love Dogs in Grand Haven, or check with your local farmers. You want it raw, not pasteurized, okay? So I'm just going to put a little splash in there. And, oh, cinnamon. I have the cinnamon, and I go overboard on the cinnamon because it's good for them and they like it. And I'm a dumper. Kind of go on what you feel is great for your dog, but I'm going to do what I think would taste good. So I think that was probably about a teaspoon. All right, bear with me for 1 second. It's going to get noisy. I'll try to do a fast forward on this part on the video, but and I'm going to pulse it. So we get it kind of all tasty and yummy and ice cream-like. So now what I'm going to do is take a spatula, put it in a bowl, and then the little thing comes out here. You do not have to have a food processor. You could crunch this up yourself. I just love my food processor though. You could do it in a beater and kind of grind up the blueberries. So now it's pretty thick, kind of like a shake. You could leave it like that, and I think that's what I'm going to do. But what I'm going to do while everything's in the oven, I'm going to stick this in the freezer, but you don't want to stick it in the freezer too long or you'll get a solid block. If you're going to do that, I would actually put it on the other side of a muffin tin and freeze. That's what I'm going to do with the leftovers. And then you could just pop it out and have a little cup for each ice cream cone when you're done. Multi-purpose, you want to have leftovers and you don't want to waste. So, yes, is this blueberry-y, yucky? I don't want to wash it. What does it matter? It doesn't matter. Your dog is going to be quite happy that the blueberry flavor is in their little cone bowl too. So I have some unrefined coconut oil here, and if I had to guess, I'd say this is about a half a cup I'm going to try. Now I have the banana here. Our oven is preheated to 350. And I'm going to stick a couple eggs. Now, if you didn't have a banana, you could substitute with applesauce or ground up apple. More cinnamon. Lots and lots of cinnamon. They love cinnamon. And let's do some more flaxseed. This is flaxseed meal. Okay. Now I have found, oh, and shoot, here I am on video caught without one of my flours. So bear with me, I'm going to keep talking to you here. I also am going to grab my almond flour. And what I found to get the consistency of a normal flour, and I think I might have mentioned this in my last video, if you want 1 cup of flour, you're going to do about 3/4 cup almond flour and 1 cup coconut flour. And I find that with me, when I make my things that I don't want the gluten or the wheat, that's a good substitute. So let's start out with 1 cup. So I'm doing 1/4 cup of coconut flour and 3/4 cup of almond flour, which would be the equivalent to 1 cup of flour. And I'm going to put it in the food processor here. Blend it up real nice. Let's see. Okay, our dough is too runny, and that's how I am a dumper. I eye things like that. So I'm going to do, it's way too runny actually, another 1/4 cup of coconut flour and 3/4 cup of the almond flour. I love the food processor for this because it mixes so easy. And let's see. I think when it starts rolling up like a little ball, so like you could roll it in a ball, it would stick, it'd be good. So we're going to add, I'm just going to add maybe another, that's probably another 1/2 of almond flour and 1/2 of a 1/4 cup of coconut flour, whatever that might be, an 1/8. There we go. I can do math. Imagine that. All right, let's see what we got here. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but it's starting to all form in one ball. That is what you want to see, is it forming all in one ball, because it means it's sticking together. So it's almost there. I'm just going to do my little handful at a time. And let's try again. Oh yeah, I think we got a ball there. I do. Let's see. Oh yes, and keep your hands all nice and floury. That's always good. So now you can play with it like Play-Doh. All right. What I'm going to do is make a little, about that size. What do you think? I'm going to go like this. And form it around. I put a little coconut oil on these to grease them lightly, so I'm not like trying to pry it off later. And I'm only going to make a couple for right now. So there we go. Let's do every other one, and then that way they're not going to stick to each other. And well, shoot. Okay, I think what I'll do is I'll probably do one more when I get off camera, because I have to grease it. I only greased a couple. So here's my bowls. Okay, I'm going to take enough dough out to do one more, because you know Grandpuppy's coming next weekend. So I'll save 2 for next weekend so that they can share. And then what I like to do is, why not, when you have your stuff out, make a bunch of things at once. So I'm going to take what's left of the dough here. I could make more bowls, or you could take it, put it on parchment paper, smash it down, and cut it up for treats. multi-purpose. We have 2 things we can do with the dough, and you could make training treats. Now with all of this, remember there are no preservatives. Keep it in the fridge. Now the ice cream we just made, I am going to put in the fridge or the freezer and keep an eye on it until these are done being baked. And then I'm going to show you how I fill them and add a little doggy sprinkles. Olaf, are you over there sleeping? You're going to be excited. All right, stay tuned. Let's see what they turn out like. Keep your fingers. Okay guys, right out of the oven, we have them nice and golden brown. I'm going to take a little spatula. Now you got to remember, this is hot, but I let it sit for a second. If you break them a little bit, it's okay. Your dog really is not going to care, but voila, a little bowl ready for the ice cream. Doggy ice cream, that is. They're coming off pretty easy. All these little pieces, oh, those are treats for later. Check these out. What do you think? Olaf, I think Olaf is going to be digging these shortly. Grandpuppy Cash will be so excited to come over. I'm loosening them on all the sides, and what I'm finding, I think, is where I did not grease it enough, they're sticking. So you learn every time. And then this one is going to be a giant doggy treat. See, there we go. This would be like where they say Pinterest failed, but in doggy land, it's not a fail. It's just more treats for training. And remember again, no preservatives. Keep these in the fridge in a little baggie, and they will be as excited as can be. But I'm going to let these cool for a second and fill it, and use a little bit more coconut oil next time on this. This is actually the first time I've made these. I've made other things like these, but it's the first time with this recipe. So every time I make something, I learn. But hold on one second while this cools down, and we will add the doggy ice cream. Okay, it's time for the doggy ice cream. I just had that in the freezer as long as it took me to bake that. And it's a nice ice cream consistency. Again, I'm going to take the leftovers and put it in the muffin tin, freeze each one, take it out of the freezer, set it in some warm water, and it will come out like instantly. And then what I do is take those and I freeze them in a Ziploc bag and pull out one at a time. I've done that with a lot of different things that way. Anyway, so here's your cup. You put the ice cream in there, and when you freeze it, I would just put the disc in there. Now you can do this outside, or I would do it on the kitchen floor, because I do believe it's going to be a little messy. But look at that doggy ice cream, okay? And I have some ground up raw pumpkin seeds, because those are so good for them. And we're going to say those are sprinkles. And then we're going to take some of the crumblies of the broken ones, and we're going to crumble them on top. And I think I'm going to put this in his bowl and let him have it. Or a paper bowl. That would be really awesome. Anyway, let's see how he likes it. Okay, Olaf is ready for his ice cream, and I am in big trouble because Kitty said, "What did you make me?" I'm going to have to see if she likes ice cream too. But let's see what Olaf thinks. What do you think, buddy? Yep. 4 paws up? Oh yeah, 4 paws up. Oh, he found a bug. Ice cream's better than a bug. All right, Olaf. Yep. Oh yeah, now time for the ice cream cone. Okay, we're going to see if Kitty likes it too. We'll be back. Oh, he's deciding. Yep. Oh yeah. Oh, see, this is why we're having it stay here on the floor, because hopefully he licks up his mess, or I'm going to have to clean it up. All right, success. Okay, for those of you worried about Kitty, I cut her up some freeze-dried chicken heart. I think she'll be happy with that. She said N-O to the doggy ice cream. But yes, okay. So Kitty did get a treat too. We'll have to figure out a summer treat for her. But anyway, happy day, happy summer. Let's keep on spoiling our animals and do it in a healthy way.